All right. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about our boy Jalen Ramsey. As I'm sure many of you have heard, Jalen, there has been rumors that the Rams could be trading Jalen Ramsey and that they could be trading him soon. Now, how I feel about this, it's there's been a lot of there's been a lot of so-called leaks reports that Jalen, the Rams were interested and that the Rams were in talks, if you will, with certain teams. And then we've had Jalen actually come out a few times and basically just shut that all down. Basically say, I'm not being traded. I know he made some comments on Twitter. He made some laughing emojis. Pretty much, in his words, he's signifying that they're not going to trade him. Now, you you can never trust. There's a lot of smoke and mirrors when it comes to the NFL and trades and stuff. It's just part of the game. That's all it basically is a game. They're trying to, if they're trying to trade someone, they're not going to openly say, "Oh, hey, we want to trade him," because they want to get as much market value for him as humanly possible, which is fine. Which is fine, but now there's been another report, and there's a report that Jalen could have a hot market linked to the Lions, which is very interesting because Brad Holmes, who is now currently the Lions general manager, used to be one of our scouts. I actually wish he was still with us. He was a very crucial piece in building our team, building our Super Bowl winning team. But he got a promotion. Good for him. He's over in Detroit now. The point of this is that Brad Holmes and the Rams and Les still have a very good relationship. So it would not surprise me if all these teams asking for a trade, that the Detroit Lions have the first bid, if you will. So if the Lions are interested, I believe the Rams will choose the Lions and try to make something work. Just because of that relationship that they had. It was the same thing when Stafford was being traded. A lot of teams wanted Stafford. We had that connection with Holmes and Les, and we kind of got first dibs, if that makes sense. And now, I believe the same thing is happening again with our boy Jalen. And there was a quote here by Jeremy Fowler of ESPN. This is what he said here. He said, "Now Jalen Ramsey, this could be a hot market on the trade front. The Rams are taking calls here." It says talking calls. I believe he meant taking calls. So I've talked to some teams this weekend to see what's going on here. The Detroit Lions come up fairly often. It's just a reasonable potential fit because Brad Holmes, the GMs, is there. He was with the Rams for a long time. He knows Ramsey's game. They need cornerback help, and they've been sort of built through the draft team, but could be one to watch. The Raiders need help there, so Ramsey, with his skill set, only 28 years old. He's due $17 million. Could have some suitors. So it is definitely rare for a top tier defender to become available, like this article says here, and his salary will range from 14.5 to 17 million for the next 3 years. So that will definitely that will have something that will have an effect in the trade talks. My whole thing is when it really comes down to is I'm a little surprised that they seem to be going forward with trading him, honestly. And I suppose they're trying to get their finances in orders. The Rams is that, for that matter. So they're trying to get rid of some of these contracts, trying to get some picks, which is fine. I would prefer to keep Ramsey, I guess, but it just depends on what the deal is. You need to get yourself a good deal. All right? Don't give Jalen away for a ham sandwich and some Doritos chips, okay? we here's the thing. He's worth at least one first rounder. Okay, one first rounder. But I would charge probably two first round picks. Two first round picks, maybe a few like low tier picks as well. And depending on the contract, maybe you could work that out with the teams. But Jalen is the one of the best cornerbacks in the team. He's not liked by a lot of people. I live in Jacksonville, so there's a lot of hate. There's a lot of hate from my man Jalen, but he is one of the best and is worth quite a bit. So I feel like two first round picks. Honestly, honest to God, I know that may sound crazy, but I'm tired of watching us. We tend to overpay sometimes, and we tend to let guys go without getting the full value for them in like trades with other teams. Les has a tendency to do that, I've noticed. But with Jalen, I would honestly say if you want Jalen, you need to give us two first round picks. And Les, guess what? If the teams aren't willing to pay that, then we keep him. Okay? That's the price. The price is the price. Okay? Jalen is worth two first round picks in my mind. Some people may disagree, but in my mind, he's worth two first round picks. So, I mean, it's going to be kind of crazy. We'll see what happens. But very interested to see what is going to take place with Jalen here. So, I'm going to keep my ears open, and we'll see what happens. But for now, that'll be it for this video. I'll catch you guys on the next one. And as always, go Rams.